Hi everyone, and welcome back to part 2 of the Doodle and Sketch box for July, the watercolor box. These were the supplies that I received in my box. I received a 2B pencil, a Bruinzeel design pencil by Holland Company, a Micron 0.3 permanent marker, a white gel pen, which is a jelly roll, and I received 3 water brushes, fine, medium, and large size, 2 erasers. One was called an art eraser, which is a white one, and then there's a soft art eraser, which is more gentle. The white one is supposed to have highly effective, no, I'm sorry, he found a box, no, get out of there, no. The white eraser is for highly effective erasing, it says, and then the green eraser is for soft erasing. Now, I've used the green one. I have another one that's green, and I love it. No. And then I received, of course, a box of their Emotion Kleenex, which is actually a little thicker, heavier, and tougher. Not good for the nose, but great for watercolor. I also received this Canson 140-pound watercolor block, which is different than a pad because it is sealed on all 4 sides, so it won't curl or warp or anything like that when you add water to it. And then when you're done, you just pick up the corner and you work your way around it to peel it off. This is cellulose paper, 100% cellulose. There's no cotton in it, and it's 7.5 by 9.4 inches. I should be using this paper for the sketches today, but this month's challenge, or their creative challenge, is to create travel sketches. And since I work in sketchbooks for my travel sketches, I figured that I would just continue in my sketchbook rather than using this paper for this. I'm going to use this paper for something else, and I will review it. But I'm going to be doing a different painting on that. So today I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my Pentalic book that I do have some sketches in from, hang on one second. Okay, I'm sorry for the distraction. Anyway, I did some sketches while I was up north a couple weeks ago. And, of course, you saw the video on this one. And then there's some other things that I did. Now, these 2 I did with the markers. These are sketches that were done with those markers. To me, these colors are very bright and vibrant. Not quite natural, but they're fun for sketching. A lot of fun for sketching. So, a lot of people liked this over on Instagram. They seem to like that and the bottles. And today, and that was a fail, and today I'm going to do something with these. I need to figure out exactly what it is I'm going to do. I am going to do a couple glasses of drinks of some sort, and then I'll come up with some other sketches as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started, and you can watch.
And things that were said. sun. My skin began to turn red. After 3 days in the desert fun, I was looking at a riverbed, and the story it told of a river that flowed made me sad to think it was dead.
Okay, now I've sketched them on. This first drink on the left is a blue drink with some ice cubes in it, and I just need to get the blue kind of melded in here. These release a lot of water, I'm finding. Hard for me to control. I'm sure each brush is a little bit different, but it's been a little bit difficult. And there's some white ice in there that lightens the blue in areas, and then it's darker in other areas. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the darkened areas that I see in. And then I can paint out the light areas, hopefully. And we'll see how that works. There's another cube there. No, it's pushed down by the line. So let me go ahead and try blending this out here and seeing what I get. Oops, I didn't want it over that ice cube. That ice cube is, well, no, it's got some blue on it. That's true. It's getting the reflection of the blue here. So I'm just going to paint over that. And then the blue, whoops, this is dripping again. Try a different brush. There's one that's really bad here. There, that's a little bit better. I'm going to fix that. It should come down like this and wash up, and that and wash up. So I'm going to try this again. And this is white in the center. Now I do have the white pen I'm going to be using at the end to add a little more to that. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the lime in. This green is quite bright. What I think I'll do here is I'm going to take some green on my brush and try to paint it directly on so that it doesn't get too dark. That'll be better. I don't know if that's good for the pen or not, but it's a little wet, so it doesn't want to go on very dark, but that's okay. This is a lime down here also. I'm going to put this green on first. I'll be putting in the white lines afterward. That drink looks really good. I miss those frou-frou drinks. I used to love those. I still do, but I just can't drink them. Oh, the headaches that I get. Ugh. Okay, now I'm going to go on to these next ones. These next ones are brown, and I don't have a brown. I did notice in their video that they did, the person had a brown, a dark brown in her setup, and I do not. So I'm going to go ahead and do the best I can making a brown myself. I do have a reddish brown, so I will use that. But first I'm going to go ahead over here to this one, which is another green drink. I need to put some ice in that I did not do. It's like a U almost. Okay, that'll work. Let's just just enough. I'm just going to wash some of this green in here. I'm not sure where it's picking the green up from. It's a lemon up there, but there's definitely green here. And then, let me wash this out. Now my yellow. Actually, I need the deep yellow for the outside here, at least on this side. Light yellow on this side. And then I'll see if I can draw that out from there anyway. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. And this one has the light yellow, oh no, the dark yellow's down here. Then there's a little green right here with yellow. These are so easy to work with. I'm not a real fan of these water brushes though. I do not like them. They're leaking way too much water for my liking. But I'll get used to it. So, I see another thing I need to put in here. This rises up and then it comes down. Now I'm going to use the reddish brown on this one. And when I need to make it browner, what I'm going to do is add some complementary color to it. So, you guys all remember your complementary colors. I'm going to add some green. And that should make it browner. And let's go ahead and color this in and see what all I need here. I need a little more color in the center, but I'm going to have to wait for that to dry. Now this one is really dark, like Coca-Cola or something like that. So I'm going to lay the green first. It's going to be scary, but I didn't clean this brush off. You should really clean the brushes off in between also. But I'm going to lay the green all the way down. Then my reddish brown on top of it. I may have to do it a couple times to get the darkness that I want. Whoops, I went a little too far. That's okay. Yeah, I think it's not dark enough, so I'm going to add a little more green on top of that. This is dirtying my brush up a lot, but you can clean these off very easily, like this, till they run clear. There, it's all clean. And now, whoops, I got some on there because my color was not dry over there. I have a fan running and I thought that would be enough. Shoot. Well, that's a mistake. That should not happen. Don't let that happen to you. I'm just going to hold that there for now so that I can blend this out a little bit better. I'm not getting it quite as dark as I'd like. I could have maybe added a little bit of blue to it to darken it, but this picks up some green over here too from the other drink. Okay. And there's a little bit of brown on the rim. Picking up color. This needs a little bit darker on the sides here. I don't think I can fix this here. It'd be nice, but oh well. I'm gonna run my dryer real quick and see if I can stop this. That's the best I can fix it. Okay, now that's a lime here. So that was really simple to do. Now I did find that because I had the water going over the edges here that I couldn't control, this one got a little bit out of the lines, so I'm just gonna fudge the lines and make my sketch a little bit different, like that. There. And let's see what else. This one needs a little more green. And then I need to spread it out a little bit. There. That spread out too. Boy, that's a shame. Oh well. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my white pen. Oh, there it is. This white pen was skipping on me, so hopefully it'll work okay. Just wanted to put in my lines here. Right around the edges of the lemon. There's that. You probably can't see it in the light, but it's there. Somebody told me to do a trick with pens when they start skipping like that, and I don't remember what it was. I always write on my skin because it seems to start the ink up again. But I can't remember what it was. If you guys remember, you can tell me. Okay. This one. That red got on there too. Oh, I did this backwards. Good thing it doesn't show. I'll show you what I mean. I have them going this way. They're supposed to go this way. There we go. The other ones I can go over with green. There. Fixed. Okay, so that's my quick first sketch. Sorry for the mess. I'm going to try to get the water to work better for my next one. Let's see what I can do next. I also want to take the white and try to help these ice cubes a little bit because they have some areas where they should be a little bit whiter, and I don't know how that red got way over there, but that can be a reflection. Now, if I use my other pen, instead of this gel pen, I wonder if it'll work better. Yeah, look at the difference. This is why I like these pens so much better. They are the Signo Uniball, that's what it is. UM153. These are much nicer than Jelly Roll, in my opinion. Everybody has their own favorite. I'm not saying this is a bad pen. I'm just saying that I'm getting a lot further using this one. Like this little blue spot here, trying to take it off. It kind of takes it off, but when I go over it with this, it's like gone, you know?
And things that were said. After 2 days in the desert sun, my skin began to turn red. After 3 days in the desert fun, I was looking at a riverbed, and the story it told of a river that flowed made me sad to think it was dead. You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one for to give you no pain. La 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 la.
Now, I don't know if you just saw that major fail. As I was trying to pull off a cap, I had a water brush in my other hand, and I went like this, and I squeezed, and all the water came up out of my brush and all over the sketch. So it got all blossomed and everything. One more reason I do not like water brushes. I forget that they have water in them, and then I make a mess. But anyway, that is it for this. And the actual video were different sketches, but basically they just said it was a challenge for travel sketches, and I just thought that these kind of went with travel, going out for drinks at a restaurant, being on the beach, whatever. So that's what I did. But these are really cool pens to play around with. I don't think I would like them in place of watercolor. First of all, they're just as cumbersome to carry. I mean, I could carry a watercolor palette a lot easier. But if you were a marker person wanting to get into watercolor, this would be a good transition, going from alcohol markers to water-soluble markers, and then using a brush. I would say a regular brush with water rather than a water brush, so that you have better control over your work. And then, yeah, that could be a great transition, and then you could transition right into watercolor. But I think if you're going to go that far, you might as well just do it. But it was fun, and it was challenging a little bit to get the colors that I wanted with, like, this beige. I used the lighter yellow and my reddish brown to get the beige, and then this was just a little darker for shadowing. And the glasses, I did red and green to make a darker brown. Red and green here to make a darker brown. Here I just used the reddish brown, and I used a little bit of green on the edges. This was green. I was going to keep it paler, but after I made the mistake here, I just brought some more green in to kind of fix that up a little bit. Adding the white for the ice cubes. I would have probably used gouache, white gouache, instead, but I'm using the supplies they gave me. Now this pen still doesn't want to write very well. I find that some Jelly Roll pens write really well, and then some don't. And the white, to me, is particularly streaky, which is why I like to go with the Uniball Signo UM153 pen. These are great, and you can buy them by the box. I get them in a box of 12, and I go through them. Seems like here's another Jelly Roll, white Jelly Roll that I got with something. That may have been another Doodle and Sketch box, but anyway, that's it for this one. Now, next month, I'm going to surprise you, and I'm doing a different type of box, which will not be watercolor. And then I'm going to transition that, hopefully, into some mixed media painting, or maybe I'll start with the mixed media painting and then transition into the Doodle and Sketch box. Anyway, we're going to have some fun, so stay tuned. Now, I've been away. My father, who's almost 90 years old, moved into an apartment because he's blind now, and he had to move out of his dream home that he built himself for he and my mother. My mother's been gone now for, well, it's going on 9 years. Seems like yesterday. She was my best friend. Ugh. But anyway, they can't live forever, right? But we were going through all of his things this weekend, and it was really hard, you know, seeing all of the antiques that my great-grandfather made. He was an artist. He did inlaid wood. So I have some of his pieces, which are really beautiful. And then, oh, some other antiques and things. And we've got to go back this weekend to finish up. And then my husband and I will be on vacation resting for a little while. So I will likely be off-grid. We will be in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where. We're just going to drive until we find someplace beautiful, which won't be hard in Michigan, but we're going to stay in Michigan. So anyway, you probably won't see many videos from me over the next week and a half. I do have a couple that I can get edited and post from a few weeks ago that I did, and I still haven't gotten them finished yet. So I've been really having a rough time lately. I'm going through one of my bouts where I'm having a lot of pain. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this. I wish I would have done this one on camera for you, because this one was a lot of fun to do. That one was a lot of fun. So was this with these markers. But it just goes to show you, you can do just about anything with them. You can even do things like clouds. If you wanted to do cloudy sky, you can do something where you just put a little bit of blue in, and then you do this, and then a little more. And then you can take your water brush and then just mix it up. I think this is the one that doesn't leak too much. I can't remember. And then you can also thin it out. No, this one leaks a lot. But you can thin it out as you go. You can keep it darker under the bottom of the clouds if you want. Thin it out on top to make them light and fluffy. Just play with it and have some fun with them. These are the Ecoline pens. You can find them on Amazon as well. I think in all the art stores they have them. They're a lot of fun. You can also do this to model your sky a little bit, and that's kind of cool too. Take some of that blue off. But anyway, so that's it for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Have some fun with these, fool around and play, and enjoy. So be courageous, paint with wild abandon, and most of all, be kind to each other. God bless you. Bye-bye.